Hey everybody, I'm Andy Smith. I'm a 30-year comic book veteran, having worked for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Image Comics, Cross Generation, Ominous Press. You name it, I've probably worked for them. And I do other things art-wise outside of comics in the field of advertising. I've also written some books on drawing comics you might have seen. Drawing American manga superheroes, Drawing Dynamic Comics was my first book. And I also did the handy little How to Draw Superhero sketchbook where all you need is a pencil because you do all the work right inside the book. Enough about that. This is the Book Look series. The Book Look series is where I grab a book off my library. You can see the tons of books I have behind me. And I go through it page by page with you so you can see if it's a book that you might want to buy. I like to know what I want to buy before I buy it, and I feel this is a way to give you some insight into these books. So join me for today's book look. Thanks. Heidi-ho, everybody. This is Andy Smith, your host with the most, for another exciting book look. That's right. I grab a book off my bookshelf, and we go through it page by page. And you never know. It's a new book, an old book. It can be anything. And this time, it is a FRAZETTA book that I picked up when I was a teenager. So I've had this book forever. Yeah, I'm dating myself. This book, FRAZETTA, you see it's in black. It's got nice gold here for his name. Little color swatch for the piece of art. The thing I like about this book, it's all black and white. It's all just focusing on FRAZETTA's black and white art. I don't want to pull this open too much. It is kind of old. Let's see. I'm not even sure what year this came out. So let's see. 1981. Wow. Beautiful drawing of Vampirella here, of course, in the classic FRAZETTA style. And it goes through about the artist, THUNDA, classic first edition. Now, let me tell you something. I am a huge THUNDA fan of the issue FRAZETTA did. I don't own it. I can't afford it. I do have a comic book size reprint of it that's in color, and I also have an oversized reprint of it in black and white that the reproduction is beautiful on it. And who knows, maybe I'll show that to show a little comparison. And then some Johnny Comet, which was a newspaper type strip. I got the actually trade paperback collection of that. Illustrations for Edgar Rice Burroughs at Earth's Core, for Edgar Rice Burroughs Pellucidar, and Centennial Portfolio, Lord of the Rings, Kubla Khan, Women of the Ages. Oh, this book is going to be great. There's the man himself. What I love about obviously I love FRAZETTA's paintings. Who doesn't? But I really like stuff like this. This reminds me of this technique here, because this is pen. Reminds me of an artist named Heinrich Clay. I used to have a couple of Heinrich Clay's books. I don't know if I have them anymore, to be honest with you. He's also, of course, inks with a brush, with the best of them. This strip right here, just the posture in the figures, even these background figures right here have great posture and acting. The way he does the wrinkles in the clothing, this is just gorgeous right here. That is hilarious and just so well drawn at the same time. Look at this dude, age 25, jumping on a I don't know if that's a Harley or what it is, but age 25, he was born in 28, so 1953, age 17, And just look at this spec layout done in his early 20s. And just look at the different textures. Look at the detail in the water back there. Beautiful gray tones here. This reminds me of a lot of Hal Foster. The staging of the panels, just a sense of light coming through in this panel. The way he did the wrinkles on her dress. Good googly moogly. At Jones Beach, 1954. 26-year-old FRAZETTA going, that's it, ladies. Come and get me. Love this. Seen this drawing many times. I love how you can see the gray in the ink. It wasn't all just solid black. But here we go. THUNDA, King of the Congo. This brushwork on this dude's back right here. I haven't looked at this book in a long time. I believe this reprints the whole story. So let's see if I'm correct. The panel layouts are pretty basic, but God, the storytelling is so nice. The drawing is so nice. This just looks like one of his paintings. The way he has the figure going back like that into black. It really has the sense of one of his paintings. So does that bottom panel there. Of course, you've got a very beautifully drawn woman. He's got a save. You've got, I love this inking right here, the way he did the shadow like that. That is just so gorgeous right there. This one, I'll be honest, doesn't do too much for me because I just think his legs should be bigger coming at us in perspective like that. But you know what? That's okay. It's really nice design. Nice planes of depth in every panel. The way he focuses the eye is so well done in each panel. Love this. I love this nice rendering here. The way he did the shadow and stuff. The tree leaves are just a nice silhouette. Oh, you know what? Page 10. This does not reprint the whole book. So, yay. I will have to show the THUNDA book. Look at this rendering right here on this arm. Soft brush rendering. Just really nice way to show the form. Great snake right here that he did. And we go on to some covers he did. I tell you, he didn't do a ton, but the ones he did definitely left a mark on the industry. And I really think, if I remember correctly, some of these are expensive just because of the FRAZETTA cover. Without the FRAZETTA cover, book wouldn't be that expensive probably. The reproduction for 1981 on this book is really nice. I don't know how well it's coming through for you guys, but the softness in this woman's hair, the very fine rendering back here on this structure under the ocean with a shark swimming away. Just this beautifulness right here in this leg right there. I wonder how tight the pencils were to this stuff, or how much he just left for ink. This guy's SOL. Well, they both kind of are, because they're in space. So, but hey, it's comics. Once again, you've got that beautiful FRAZETTA moon, cratered moon that he made popular. You see Wally Wood do it. This right here has almost a Mignola vibe. If you look at Mike Mignola's early stuff, It definitely has hints of FRAZETTA in it. His compositions and even the way he spots the blacks and stuff. Here's some Johnny Comet strips that he did. I've never seen an original of these, but I would have to think these things are rather large. I believe daily strips now are just drawn on a 17 wide piece of paper. So this would be 17 inches across. Back then, I think they were like maybe 22 or 24 inches. Could be wrong. And that's it. So you're only getting a taste of these things. If you want to see them all, you got to look at the Johnny Comet book that collects all the Johnny Comet strips. There's FRAZETTA and his wife cutting the cake. Some more quick sketches here. So cool, just the lighting on it. Once again, very Mignola with the eye level and then the way the blacks are spotted and such. Just love the rendering on the inside of this wing. Very Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein. So you really see the influence Frank has or had on a lot of artists. Jeffrey Jones, Bernie Wrightson, Kaluta. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I think I might have... we had an assignment in the Kubert School where we were supposed to take an artist's work and try to copy it line for line, figuring out what tool they used and such. And it is really a great way to learn. I think I might have done that one. Told you I had this book for a long time. And some more writing about Frank. Then we get into some of the book covers. You know, these would have been better if they were printed in color, but what do you want to do? Love this early Fritz drawing from the 40s, showing some nice cartooning right here. The man could do it all. Oh, va-va-voom, look at her. And this is very Bernie Wrightson looking. So you can really just go through and see the influence he had on other artists, like I said. Don't know why he didn't finish inking this one. It's hard to see that her head is just still in pencil. I love the way he did the wrinkles starting in grays and then getting down to solid blacks. Just a beautiful sense of form and light. And, you know, FRAZETTA was I know he liked George Bridgman when it came to figure drawing. And you can kind of see that in his work too, in the way the forms interlock and connect with each other. And I take it back. This is the one I did. I knew it was a back shot of Tarzan. This is the one I did in the Kubert School. Just look at that lion. And the way he does the brushwork, it's kind of dry brush. It almost looks like the brush had split hairs when he did this feathering, because the feathering almost has like this blur to it. It's just a really cool effect. Yeah, this dude just needs to run. Why is he even facing him, man? Just take off and run, buddy. The teeth are lodged in the top of his skull. Love the way the blacks are just kind of like side of the brush just really plopped in there, and you've got a nice reflected light coming back into it. I love the way he does the grass, cut some white out back into the black of that wolf right there. This is also one of my favorites. I'm sorry, I'm just marveling at the ink work. And then there's this texture here. So I'm assuming this was done on a textured board, and that's where the texture's coming from, like a watercolor paper or something. I'll be honest, I don't really know the answer. It's just a guess. If anyone does, please let me know. Really nice here, like compositionally, it's got the nice A or triangle shape to it. Actually, it's kind of a diamond when you think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's an off-kilter diamond shape for the composition. Just so nice. This rendering here that he does on her to indicate the lighting is so soft and delicate. And then he did a nice hidden line here. And I wonder if he went back in with whiteout to clean up all this stuff. I'm going to say yes. You can even see in some of this lighting, Kevin Nowlan. So, I mean, even a guy like Kevin Nowlan, if you look at his stuff and really try and tear it apart, you can see a FRAZETTA influence. Very nice, loose gestural sketch. And then we got some pictures here of the family. Ooh, I just heard the spine crack a little bit. Got to be careful. Here we get to some more artwork. These little guys are like, yes, please. Nice Lord of the Rings here. Little Gandalf. Of course, you can see some Frank Cho in this stuff as well. If you look at Frank's work, the way the trees are done and the textures and stuff, very FRAZETTA. This is very, I can just see a lot of Kevin Nowlan in this, or should I say, I see a lot of Frank FRAZETTA and Kevin Nowlan. Great piece right here. I just love the inking on it. Love this nice solid black here to really draw your eye, and then she, of course, pops out from the black so nicely. 1975. So he was born in 28, so he would have been 50 in 78, so he wasn't even 50 years old yet when he drew these. Wow. Very cool. One of my favorites here. I mean, FRAZETTA draws horses that have attitude and are just boss level, like that horse. And this horse, what's it? It kind of gives you a Simon Bisley vibe. Another artist very influenced by FRAZETTA. Very nice here. Just love the lighting. Mignola did a story, Mike Mignola did a story, a backup story in a Marvel fanfare with the Submariner in the 80s. It's one of his early jobs that he penciled and inked. The anatomy and the drawing looks so much like this. It's before Mike got really graphic with his shapes and stuff. And the drawing and the anatomy is kind of bloopy. And I mean that in a good way. Kind of like this. It's just, it's gorgeous. The motion of this horse. Just another great shot. Beautiful lighting. You see the spine is coming apart on my poor book. I gotta say, he's sad, but man, look at this beautiful line work in here. The brush work he has going on. Oh, another artist that's, you can see a FRAZETTA influence in rendering and stuff. Mark Beecham. You can. And these are preliminary sketches. And then, oh, Oh, this book is coming apart. Well, it's not worth what it would be anymore, but I'm never doing anything with it. This one, just the rendering on her back, it's gorgeous. It's not perfect. It's very organic and fleshy. I love this. These aren't suggestive at all. And she's jumping down on them like, hey, hello. Wow, look at this dude's nose. Another great horse. The horse is 90% black. It's mostly a silhouette with just little highlights pulled out. And it's just so freaking nice. Another example of a very nice hidden line right here. Your eye just fills it in. I tell you, FRAZETTA, I like drawing the front of figures because they're more interesting, but man, he does great stuff where it's the back of a figure. You know, and it's drawn so nicely. Like I said, he definitely likes George Bridgman as a figure artist. And you can tell by the way the forms interlock with each other. Dave Finch, another big FRAZETTA guy. And Dave Finch is a big Bridgman guy as well. George Bridgman guy. I don't know why this guy's trying to swim away from these ladies. Cray cray. The way he did this hair has a very Jeffrey Jones feel. I mean, I see you. That's what that guy's saying. Creep. And then we get to the end of the book, just a little more writing about FRAZETTA here. Some pictures. Frank, his daughter Heidi. Little Clint Eastwood hanging out with FRAZETTA. Here's Frank using himself for photo reference. Oh, this book is falling apart. It's killing me. Ew, that hurts me so bad. If anybody knows how to fix that other than just glue. I mean, I guess glue, but it's really killing me. Wish this was in color, but in black and white, it just shows you that this works as a gray tone drawing, painting in black and white, because the values are all there. The THUNDA book I'm talking about, I wasn't even going to really do today, but it's oversized. So I got this years ago at a convention. Let's see, let me adjust the camera. Let's see if I can make it. Oh, I think I'm zoomed. Yep, I'm zoomed out as far as I can go. So we'll just have to make it work. This book, I believe when I bought it, cost me like 50 bucks. Like I said, the book itself, it's the whole story. It's not even in mint condition. This came out in 1973, I guess. But the reproduction, this must have been reproduced from their originals, because the line work in this, I mean, it's almost like an artist edition with how well the line work holds up. And like I said, it's on, this almost feels like 2-ply Bristol board, which is what comics are drawn on. So, I mean, this is just a great class on composition in panels, nice lighting, the brushwork and the inking, the depth he gets with line weight and such. And he did a romance comic, and they put one of these out for that, and I don't have that one. I had a chance to buy it, and like a dummy, I passed up on it. Look at this depth in this panel. So I will take it back. It's not like an artist edition because all the blacks are just solid black. There's no gray in the inks like I'm sure there was in the originals. But the reproduction in regards to the dry brush and everything just shows up so nicely. I love this rendering right here he did. There's that wonderful shot right there showing the nice feathering on the arm and such. Beautiful. I love this cross hatching here. I mean, there's, you know, you can see Hal Foster in this stuff. And you know FRAZETTA was a fan of Hal Foster. Looking at this work. So this is where it ended in the book I went through, and then here's like a chapter 2, or I should say maybe just a different story. You can even see hints of Joe Kubert, in my mind, in some of this stuff as well. Like Joe was probably influenced slightly by FRAZETTA as well in regards to some rendering and how he does anatomy and stuff. That is very Hal Foster to me. This is gorgeous right here. Like, I'd love to see Kevin Nolan ink some of this because I think you'd still go, oh, that's FRAZETTA. But wait a second, who inked it? You know, it wouldn't be steamrolled. Like this right here would be nice to see. I love the lighting on these guys back here. You can almost see it in a sepia brown on Masonite, where FRAZETTA paints just in the highlights and uses the Masonite and stuff for the shadows. Love this rendering. Wait, I want to make sure I didn't miss a page. I did not. These pages are so thick, it throws me off. And they're so thick, the staples are coming undone. Man, all my books, what the heck? That really reminds me of kind of like Hal Foster. Each one of these panels is just such a nice little illustration in its own. Oh, yeah. Classic right there. Classic hero shot. You got the saber tooth. Just give this dude blonde hair and you got Kazar. Beautiful saber tooth. I'd love to see some of these originals. I'd love to own this book, but this book is a little out of my price range. The actual THUNDA comic. Even the way he does the skin on the black people with the amount of ink and stuff he uses. And this book was originally in color, but he just really goes in and pulls out highlights and stuff. And it's so nice looking. Great face here. Kind of cartoony, but at the same time, we all probably seen somebody that looks like that. The way the hair's done and stuff, this looks like a Kevin Nolan face. Man, I just would not, seriously, 4, 5. God, this paper's thick. Right here, this guy, right here at the bottom. It's basically a silhouette, and like this is an imperfection in the printing. That should be black. This is basically a silhouette, and he just gives enough information so you know what's going on. The end. And then we get another story. So what is this, story number 4? This is all of Frank's THUNDA stuff. THUNDA, Thundercats, ho. Everything here is readable, It's not confusing to look at. Beautiful open silhouettes back there to really push the depth and help you focus the eye right in the foreground. Here's another one I haven't looked at in forever. Kind of cartoony, but it works. Little subtleties like how these dudes' feet are turned inwards. That's just a nice little subtlety that a lot of people wouldn't think about. Of course, you can see John Buscema was influenced by this type of rendering as well. Frank Frazetta, an artist who didn't do much in terms of comic book work, but his influence for what he did do spans far and wide, for sure. Here you go. Nice little halo right here. This little white line, it's subtle, but it's a halo, and it pops that animal forward from the figures behind him. The end. And they did do an Untamed Love. I wish I would have bought it. I'll have to look for it. This is a beautiful book. I have the reprint in the comic book form. But guys, thank you for joining me on today's book look, where we did first Frazetta, a book that came out in 1981, spotlighting a lot of his black and white work, and THUNDA, King of the Congo, really fantastic reproduction of his THUNDA work. And please, if you would, go check out Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. That is my campaign, currently on Indiegogo. If you like barbarians and action, adventure, and of course, a fantastic story, I usually tell you what the story is about right here. I'm not going to. There are links in the description below for the Indiegogo campaign, the Kickstarter campaign, and the Kor-Drath website. Click on those, read about it, read the first 8 pages, see artwork, all the stuff that you can get with the book, and back it today. Lend your support to me. I would deeply appreciate it. It's because of your guys' support that allows me to draw the book. All right, guys, until next time, everybody have a good one. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye-bye.
Retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution!